Hey there. Welcome to Arbory Digital Update from the Forest. I'm Tad Reeks, Principal Architect at Arbory Digital. And today is an absolutely lovely day to start talking about preparing for Adobe Summit. It's only a month and change away right now. And if you haven't bought your ticket yet, there's still time. And if you want to, I've got a discount code that you may be able to use. So hit me up if you haven't yet purchased your Adobe Summit ticket, and I can potentially help you out. That being said, as of just yesterday, the session calendar is now live. Up until this point, it's just been previews of content that is expected to be shown at Summit. Right now, you can book your sessions. And as somebody who's been to quite a few summits, it's important to book your sessions now, because a lot of the ones that you may be most interested in are going to fill up really fast. So those sessions having to do with brand new features, those are going to be stacked out. They're going to be waiting room only, and then you might not get in. So get in, log in, and fill out your session calendar now. That'd be my second tip. All right, this next bit, I think I'm going to find a good place to come to a stop, as I think my wife would have an argument with me. She found out that I was at risk of falling to my death. Don't fall down that cliff. While recording a podcast, that is not acceptable level of risk for my cam. So give me just a sec. But the cliffs down here, then I'll tell you what. All right, found a good place to come to a stop because I want to read my notes in this case. So one of the things I get asked about all the time is what sessions should I go to? And so I wanted to just give you a couple ideas of what I'm planning on going to. So some of the ones that you go to regardless are the keynotes and Summit sneaks. Those are awesome. So just make sure that those are on your schedule. Aside from that, so there's 2 sessions on if you are an AEM person or if you're interested in assets, which are the top innovations for sites and the top innovations for AEM assets. Both of those you want to go to. So one of the things that Adobe announced last year at Summit, which has built out considerably, is Gen Studio for Performance Marketing. There are some integrations with the AEM assets, which actually are not hype. This is Gen AI stuff that you can put into action in the real world and significantly speed up a lot of manual labor that goes into marketing workflows. And you need to know how you're going to leverage assets for this. Because all too often, AEM assets gets kind of pigeonholed into this just kind of a rummage drawer, like a place to at least store all your things and keep them from cluttering up the rest of your enterprise, as opposed to using it as a tool to accelerate your business. That's what I think that this is going to end up giving some insights to. Please absolutely think about attending that one if it interests you. Another one that's super interesting, there are some new commerce features that make it a lot faster and more streamlined to roll out a new Adobe Commerce site and integrate it in with your AEM assets, your Gen Studio, and have it all rolled out with edge delivery services. It's super fast. Some of it may or may not have to do with document authoring that I discussed earlier on my last podcast, but absolutely, if you see one of those new commerce rollout sessions, absolutely look at attending that as well. And those are my big ones. The rest of them, there are a lot of customer stories of actual real-life implementations of edge delivery and new AEM cloud things. So take the time right now to go through your session calendar and book your sessions while they're still open. So this year, I was delighted to be elected as an AEM champion for the class of 24-25, and I'm on the leadership council for such, and so I'll be hanging out a lot in the Adobe booth during Summit. So I'm going to be really easy to find. I really hope to meet a bunch of you at Summit. And please think of your more difficult questions about architecture, whether or not edge delivery is usable for this or that. Oh, come now. That was difficult. Walk and chew bubblegum. Yeah, bring the ear. Really interesting, really difficult architecture questions, implementation questions, migration questions. We'll have a bunch of both Adobe engineers, but also AEM champs hanging around and can answer them for you, which I think is one of the bigger reasons to go to Summit. The sessions are amazing, but getting to go right to the subject matter experts of people who've actually done those implementations, that's huge. That's why you want to go to Summit. So I'm going to be booking ample time at the Adobe booth. So please come on by. So nextly, try to do this while doing a high-speed descent. Here we go, don't die, Tad. Okay, so one of the next things is before Summit, we're gonna be doing a bike ride. Not this kind of bike ride. It's gonna be a little bit lower gradient. But we're gonna be taking a number of people. I've got a number of confirms already from AEM champions. I'd love to have it be a bigger thing, but we're going to rent some bikes and go on over and do a really scenic gravel ride on the old rail trail that leads to the Hoover Dam. It's what used to supply all of the ridiculous amount of concrete that was used to build the Hoover Dam. Kind of apropos that I'm here right now. This whole area where I am now used to be a coal mine, and at the bottom of this is actually also a rail bed, which for my history-obsessed son is all the reason to come out here on a mountain bike. So we're gonna be doing the super scenic ride. It is my professional opinion that if one is going to be in a conference hall, breathing recirculated air, along with 15,000 other people for 4 days, that it's a very healthy thing to do for mind and body to go get outside, fill your lungs with fresh air and good company, and prep yourself for the days ahead. On that note, one of the things that I'm going to be bringing along with me as a party trick is this new follow drone. And it's going to be a lot of fun to bring along and get some footage because it's going to be absolutely gorgeous when we get out there. And I'm looking forward to some interesting shots and hopefully not falling into, oh, there's no water in Las Vegas. All right, and then lastly, this is last because I'm about to climb up out of this canyon and I won't be able to talk in just a second. But lastly, come on, mate. There we go. So at Adobe Summit this year, we're going to be bringing along a new staff member of ours who, this is their first Adobe Summit. I also have a few customer colleagues who are going to be coming to Adobe Summit. It's their first Adobe Summit. So I'd like to outfit them with tips that you wish you had before going to Adobe Summit so as to make it the most productive for your coming year. So please drop those in the comments. We'll vote on them because I'm looking to do that. Adobe Summit Tips podcast. This month. And we're going to take a vote on them. And the top 3 comments, we're going to get either a cycling cap like this, customized with your name on it, or a t-shirt, whichever your preference is. And I hope to see a bunch of you there.